Hi, this is my presentation of the 271 final. I chose the option 2 for this project because I felt like this project was the most intriguing to me, and I felt like I had a greater opportunity to explore ELL and those students and get a better idea. Even though I'm not getting the ESL endorsement, I am getting reading and special ed, and I feel like having this background, having more information, will still be beneficial. So, anyway, so some of the background on the little girl in the video, Soyul. She is 3 years old. Her and her family are from Korea. She nor her family speaks any English, and she joined Miss Yvette's preschool classroom at the UCLA preschool program. And then during that whole video, I got to explore the 4 different stages of second language acquisition, which I didn't really know too much about before watching this video and completing this project. So I felt like it was super helpful and helped me gain a lot of knowledge on that. And so it just shows her transitioning through those 4 stages over a 14-month period. While watching the video, we were to complete this checklist, this developmental checklist for Soyul. I ran into some difficulty getting to check everything off because the video is only 20 minutes long, so I only got to see so much. So I definitely think that it would be more helpful when completing this checklist to be able to have more time with the child and get to see more of their cognitive skills and their physical development and social emotional, rather than just language, because that's mainly what the video was based on, her learning English and transitioning from only knowing Korean. Alright, and then so the main focus and the main educational piece, I feel of this project and video was learning more about second language acquisition and the stages. So this is a good visual PDF I found to help me understand more and get a better understanding of each of the stages. So it talks about the first stage, which is home language use, and the child uses his or her own language even when others do not understand. Length of time in this stage varies by child. So it kind of shows, so you'll go through this stage, and I'll kind of talk about her in each of the stages in a minute. But then the next stage, or stage 2, is the nonverbal period. And so this is just when they start to realize that people in their environment aren't really understanding their home language. And so they just kind of stop talking altogether until they kind of get more comfortable with the new language they are learning. So then they transition into stage 3, and they're starting to make some words and make more clear statements that people who don't speak their home language can understand. And then into stage 4 with the productive language, they are very clear, making their own sentences. They are very excited about their new language. They can clearly speak it. We can understand them more. Alright, and then next I'll kind of talk about Soyul in each of those stages. So in stage 1, as showed in the video, she was only speaking her native language of Korean at school. Her peers weren't really understanding what she was saying. Her teacher didn't speak Korean, so she didn't really know what she was saying. But as her teacher mentioned in the video, Miss Yvette was actually a ELL student as well. She only knew Spanish when going into an all English classroom, so she was able to make that connection and connect that to Soyul's development and kind of help her get through that. So for stage 2 in the video, during the stage, she was not producing any English and only nodding her head when asked questions. They showed in the book she was slightly following along with her teacher as the teacher was reading her a book, and the teacher was trying to get her engaged and asking her questions, and she would just kind of nod to everything that she was asked. And then towards the end of this stage, her and the teacher, Miss Yvette, are kind of doing the finger play, the thumbkin play, and she's kind of following along, following the hand motions that Miss Yvette is doing, and you can tell she's starting to make a connection with her teacher and trying to understand and process all that. So then in stage 3 that they show in the video, Soyo is interacting more with her peers. She's saying more words and names. They show a part in the video where she actually is calling some of her peers by name. She starts to sing some of the songs in English. For example, Itsy Bitsy Spider, she was on the teeter-totter thing or something on the playground with one of her peers, and she was singing that as they were playing on that. They show her running around, laughing outside, and even asking friends to play with her and build sandcastles. And then towards the end of that stage, they show her interacting with the director of curriculum for the UCLA preschool, and she's teaching him to count in Korean. So I thought that was really cool that they showed that part and her connecting to him. And then the last stage they show in video 1 of Soyo is she is having a back and forth conversation with the director of curriculum. So she's talking to him again, furthering that relationship. He's kind of asking her about her home life and about like ballet, because that is something she clearly likes and he knows that about her. So they're having a conversation about that, and she's forming multiple clear sentences, understanding exactly what he is asking her. She is confident and excited about what she's talking about because she is talking about something she likes, which was ballet. And so she just keeps having that conversation and talking to him, and you can tell just in that 14th month period like how much she has grown from the beginning of her time at the preschool. Here are some of the resources I came up with for the parents. Just a simple like newsletter that is translated in Korean, and so that her parents can still connect with what's going on in the classroom, as well as ideas and activities for Soyo to complete at home. Some of the activities I thought would maybe the teacher could include like a book list of books that are made in both English and Korean, and then maybe make some flashcards with words on it, and like the one side of the flashcards have like a picture, and then the other side have the word in both English and Korean. And then an online resource I found was the Illinois Early Learning Project, and this website includes a lot of helpful guides and activities as well, and it translates them into Korean, so that would be really helpful for her parents to read and look up and be able to interact with Soyo at home, and she can keep continuing her knowledge of Korean and developing that language, because she wasn't quite fluent in that language as yet because she obviously is only like 3, so and then as well as continuing with English, because that was super important to her parents that she stay like learning Korean and not lose that information she had. And the last thing I kind of thought of was maybe, since they talked about in the video that there's 14 different languages that are spoken in the 22 child like classroom, and so since there are so many different languages and there are a lot of non-native English speaking parents within that classroom, I thought that they could maybe create like a parent group, and it could be led by parents who are native English speakers, and they could reach out to all the parents that aren't and help them have a better understanding of like the American school system, and they could be an additional resource outside of the teacher if they need that, and they can just kind of gain a sense of community and connect with their child's friends, parents, and just gain that sense of community within the classroom, so that way everyone is just kind of understanding and feels welcome within their child's classroom. But yeah, that's it.